Hello, everybody, and welcome to a little bit of a shorter diretide video. This is my hero tier list. This is roughly as I imagined it. There's 23 heroes that aren't in, and these, again, are my personal beliefs behind the tier lists. You could have your own tier lists, but I feel like this is where we're seeing a lot of it go. So, in our previous video where we discussed some tactics as well as active gameplay, we talked a little bit about our tier list. So, here we have a bigger constructed, more I would love to say more economically clean looking, but it's actually not the case. Tier list. So first and foremost, our S tier strength heroes because of their high mobility and S tier team fight. Io, Sand King, and Undying are all on the S tier strength hero list. Io to relocate with your core and destroy the enemy's fountain, Sand King with high mobility and maximum teamfight ability, and Undying because he's just Undying. He hurts. Drop your tombstone, that's a team fight. The reason I have only one hero in the S tier Agi, being Ember Spirit, is because he is high mobility and high damage, but with low teamfight ability. Get Aghanim Scepter and that flips it around pretty quickly. The S tier hero list, however, is Leshrac, Queen of Pain, Shadow Shaman, Storm Spirit, and Wind Ranger. Now Quap, Storm, and Windy, high mobility and high singularity damage. Shadow Shaman, wards. Leshrac, Diabolic Edict. Those are the reasons. Real good bans is Elder Titan, Shadow Shaman, Undying, Quap, and Zeus. The reason why I put Elder Titan in there is because he could put people to sleep for a really long time and yank a lot of candy. And if you're playing against a good Elder Titan, that's one scary boy. But your go-to ban should always be either Shadow Shaman or Undying. Zeus is also just a minute personal one. Queen of Pain being one of the other ones to ban out if you see one of your other heroes being banned out, either by your allies, because you can't see your enemy bans quite yet. Now into our A tier hero list. Earthshaker and Earth Spirit, medium mobility heroes with light complexity, but great team fight damage capability. Bristleback I have moved up to the A tier as he is really strong if played correctly, and Phoenix and Sven up in the A tier as well. Phoenix there because of Icarus Dive, but Egg is a little 50-50, and Sven there because of Stormhammer damage and nuke ability. A tier Agi list, I've added 2 extra heroes to. Arc Warden because he can actually, I think he can send back his Tempest double still and make it to where the Tempest turns into candy. And then Gyrocopter for Flat Cannon. Just open fire up on all the creeps. Kill them pretty easily. And then Marana for her moderate mobility with like leap charges and stuff like that, but the arrow to insta-gib anti-creep. And Venomancer because he's just straight up annoying. A tier list. I've added a few extras to this, being Batrider, Jakiro, and Nature's Prophet. Batrider because he actually has pretty decent mobility because of his Flame Break. Go after them with that big old fire going, take them away, and then bring them home. The enemies, that is. I've added Jakiro because of his strict team fight ability. Just drop the R, and they're going to burn away. And Nature's Prophet because his treants will still hit a candy bucket for a full percentage HP. So, that's pretty scary. But Dark's here for moderate mobility with light teamfight ability. Pugna because he's Pugna, Void Spirit, and Zeus for high magic capability damage with moderate escape. B tier list. I have added both Kunkka, Underlord, and Clockwork. Clockwork because of the fact he has hook shot, and if you get Aghanim Scepter, you can get overclock, hook in, steal candy, hook out. Legion Commander for infinite scalability. I've also added Magnus because Magnus RP skewer as well as just destroying them with Empower. Mars, as we've already talked about, due to Arena, and then we have Underlord for his TP. Very unreliable long cooldown ability, so it's not entirely great. And then Kunkka for wave clear and team fight, but no mobility as a result. Next, I've added quite a few into the B tier Agi list because of looking at some Aghanim Scepters. First and foremost, I went into Morphlings and found that it was a lot better to run a little bit of a B tier Morphling than an A tier or throw it into the C tier. Or D tier as in don't pick. That's what D tier means. Don't. So The B tier list, I've added Morphling because of Wave 4 mobility, as well as the eventual thing that he gets 2 charges of it. Pango, I've added because of Swashbuckle actually has a pretty good distance, especially if you go for the Swashbuckle talent. Slark is in there already, but a lot of people don't really pick up the Ags on him. Sniper there because he's Sniper. He can attack from a very long range away. The last 2 I've added are also equally situational. You have to get an Aghanim Scepter on TA to use Teleport to traps, and then Vengeful Spirit to swap out the Candy Carrier. Now, the B tier list, I've added a couple extra int heroes as well. After a little bit of gameplay, I've seen that Dazzle is actually really good with Shallow Grave, as well as Keeper of the Light with Teamfight Disengage ability, and Lich with Teamfight Initiate ability. Of course, we have the Lena, Silencer, and Lion, both scaling heroes, and then Warlock dropping Rock with Searing Chains, burning them away. And now, I didn't talk about a B tier list in the last one. C tier list, we've got our Axe, Centaur, DK, Night Stalker, Breaker, and Wraith King. So the big reason behind why Axe and Breaker are in the C tier list is because Axe is very reliant on spins, whereas Spirit Breaker also is that same entire story where he's entirely reliant on bastions. Centaur, his stun circle is very weak and relies heroes to click on him, but most people could just disengage. DK needs Aghanim Scepter to be extremely relevant, and Wraith King needs farm in order to be relevant. Following that, there's also the fact that Night Stalker also needs a very specific set of items as well in order to maintain a lot of sort of net ability. Next in the C tier list is a couple of stealth heroes that I know are a bit kind of crap. Bounty Hunter, Rikamaru, and Weaver. The reason why I don't like any of these stealth heroes is because they're actually really weak baseline HP. Bounty Hunter more than Ricky, but Ricky more than Weaver. Weaver gets strength-like items eventually, but Ricky is pure damage and pick-off ability. He can just get hooked out and dies immediately. Same thing with the Bounty Hunter as well. The reason I put Jug and Viper in here is because Jug's escape is spinning, and Viper doesn't have one. Viper does output a lot of damage, though. But he just can die, is the thing. He could just get nuked down immediately. Our C tier list is going to be AA, Bane, Death Prophet, Invoker, Necrophos, Ogre McGee, Rubik, Shadow Demon, Skywrath Mage, Techies, Visage, Winter Wyvern, and Witch Doctor. The reason why I put a lot of these heroes in there is because they have great teamfight abilities, but they're moderate to cooldown or very RNG-esque reliant. The reason I put Tinker in there is because all Tinker does is travel around, put March down, and then engage in teamfights. And then last but certainly not least, our Don't Pick Will Probably Throw as a Result playlist. Now again, it does not mean you're probably, if you see this hero in your game, it's probably not going to happen. They're probably not going to throw. But I put Beastmaster, Chaos Knight, Doom, Huskar, Omni Knight, Tide Hunter, Tusk, AM, Bloodseeker, Broodmother, Lone Druid, Luna, Medusa, Meepo, Naga Siren, Nyx Assassin, Phantom Assassin, Razor, Shadow Fiend, almost said Shadow Demon again, Spectre, Terrorblade, Troll, Weaver, again, because I feel like Weaver is a big throw kind of hero. Chen, because creeps aren't that good. Crystal Maiden, Enigma, because of long ult cooldown. Oracle, and Techies, because Techies is bad. That's just it. Don't pick Techies, guys. So I don't want to go into full explanation as to why these heroes are in the Don't Pick Will Probably Throw as a Result list, but it's just because a lot of them have abilities that aren't really that good. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, very short video. I say that, though it still was a 9.5-minute video, but I hope you enjoyed it one way or another, and we'll see you next time for some more Diretide Dota 2 actions. Party PD, signing off.